What's happening, Steam? I'm just about to head off to the gym, but I thought I'd do a quick video before I go. You know the colour, the villains in black. I'll do a quick competition. I'll give 10 Steam to the first person who can tell me the song, the group, and the artist in particular who said that lyric. You know the colour, the villains in black. I'll be sending 10 Steam to the first person to respond to my comments on Steam it. Just because. Anyway, this video is not about that. This video is a quick one because I wanted to talk a little bit about investing versus the technology when it comes to blockchain, Bitcoin, and the like. Over the last year or so, I've been spending probably a bit too much time paying attention to the micro details of the investing side, and hey, who wouldn't, given the monumental rise in price? It's all that could occupy most people's minds who are in the space. However, I want to flip that around a bit. I've been doing that for the last few weeks, and that is, I always kind of believe if you're investing in anything, you should take a longer term view, because most investments don't come to fruition for years down the line. So if you're only just getting into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies now, you should really be doing it with a mindset of how can I get a return on my investment in 4 or 5 years time, as opposed to how can I flip my money in 2 weeks. This will not only probably keep you sane, but it's more likely to kind of yield better profits if there are profits to be made. The only counter to that kind of micro approach would be if you're a venture capitalist, right? So if you're a venture capitalist and you've got kind of millions to throw at the space, you might be want to put some seed funding. I mean, I don't need to tell venture capitalists what to do; they know what to do, right? But, just know as the average everyday person that a lot of this kind of quick flipping is done by people that invest real early, putting in some seed capital, and then they will put in seed capital into a number of different ventures, startups, ICOs, and then for a few of those to blossom into kind of big returns. But unless that's your game, if you're just like a retail investor, then you're better off taking a more macro view and putting in small amounts over longer periods of time and hoping to kind of swell that. Just as an example, if someone invested in Bitcoin 5 years ago, small amounts for a couple of years, they'll be laughing now. So I don't think those principles change. So that's kind of how I think we should be looking at the macro. And for a lot of people, if you're not really interested in the technology, you just think it's got potential to turn you a profit, you can leave it there. And then you probably want to put your earmuffs on in the short term and kind of not listen to any of the drama that's going on in the short term, because it's always going on and it will always go on. Just see where you are in a few years' time. On the flip side, if you are actually interested in diving into the detail, I mean, you might want to be a trader. I mean, that's your bag. I don't really want to talk about traders. But if you are really interested in diving into the detail, I found it resourceful to kind of focus on the actual technology itself. And that's what I've been doing over the last few weeks in particular. I've been trying to build a web app that incorporates some blockchain technology, and I'll be giving more details on my blog over the next few weeks. But one thing I've really noticed is kind of where the blockchain comes into the picture, because for my particular app, I think it's really useful in terms of auditing the data. Because to me it's just really just a database, when in essence that's the output that you're getting, and it's just using that immutability of the blockchain to be able to audit the data, to verify when things happen, and also to give confidence to users of the app that the results and what they're seeing is valid, and they can go and verify it themselves by looking and interrogating the blockchain. So I think that kind of immutability of the blockchain is really, really useful. However, that still doesn't stop me from actually having to pull out some of that data, manipulate that in my own database or on the front end, and then presenting that into the users in a way in which is resourceful for my app. So there's still kind of work to be done. It doesn't kind of eliminate the need for having to have your own data storage, in my view, for my particular app. The other aspect which I've found really useful, and that's where using technology like Steam's particularly helpful, is being able to make micro payments and do that micro transactions, and being able to do that very fast, being able to automate that. And I think that's really really kind of useful and something which you can't really get from other technologies. And so those are the two aspects really that I'm kind of utilizing for the blockchain. But by and large, 90% of the app is really kind of doing the stuff off the blockchain. And yeah, so just kind of the principle, the whole point of the video is not really to get into detail, but it's really to say that if you are kind of investing in the blockchain or in kind of cryptocurrencies, then really take a longer term view. Look at it from a micro level in terms of when your returns are, and if it comes before that, then happy days. Take profits on the way. I've done videos on that. However, the mindset should be kind of longer term. And if you really are kind of itching to get into the detail, it probably is more useful for you, even as an investor, to look at the actual technology itself and spend a bit more time understanding that. If you find yourself spending hours looking at kind of charts and this, that and the other, you're probably more resourceful as an investor to get into some of the detail, and then you can understand the applications that have kind of more of a real world use case, and that and what the technology can be used for and be useful for, and what's a bit more pie in the sky. Anyway, that's it. If you know the artist, and you know the song, and you know the group, and you're quick on the trigger, and then you type it in the comments, I'll be giving out 10 Steam to the first person that does that. The colour, the villain's in black, I'm gone.